I believe we decided to call this thing the Ramble. My name is Josh, and I am joined today by Pete and Dan.
Hello.
Hi there.
Yes, so we're back. What, third week? Third week of the official podcast.
Third week in a row.
Third week in a row. We have a commitment. This is fantastic.
We're doing well.
We're now tied in by
we're doing
some moral code.
Yes, we are. Otherwise, I'm going to let your deepest, darkest secret float away, Josh. Everyone will know.
It's already there. It's already there. Just go onto
already there.
Reddit or go onto Facebook.
It's
on the front page of YouTube.
Yeah.
It's already there.
It is the most liked on What the Fuck subreddit, yeah?
What the fuck? Yeah. It's also on the top post of all time on Creepy. Speaking of which, have you seen those face swap apps? You know,
I've seen a load of them. Yeah, I've seen some weird ones.
There's a really weird one,
like the dude who swapped his belly button with his body,
holding a baby.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Oh god, I've seen that.
Yeah, and it looks like his face is an anus.
Scary as shit. Yeah.
It was like, that's nasty. Anus face. There we go. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Really where we wanted to start.
There's the thumbnail right there.
Yes, it's just going to be his face. Oh, no. No, we're moving on. We're moving on straight away. We're moving on. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So, I hate you. I really hate you. So we're going to try and keep this short. We're going to try and keep it down to the sort of 30-minute mark. We might have a bit of waffle today because there is a lot of stuff we may talk about, potentially.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah, more in line of the Oscars. But first of all, seeing we've done it for the last couple of weeks, has everyone watched The Walking Dead?
Yes.
I have indeed.
You will be proud to know I finally watched it.
Thank you.
Yay!
What did you think?
I'm good.
What did you think? Jesus, the hilltop?
Solid.
It was,
yeah,
wasn't
it? Was good. It was very good.
I see what you mean, how Jesus is a badass.
Yeah. And
yeah, he's pretty damn cool.
I love it because this episode really followed the comics, like, very, very in line with it. Because as soon as Rick came out of the house with whatever the baby's name is, Julia or whatever it's called.
Judith.
He was Judith.
Judith?
That's the one. Yeah.
Julia. Yeah.
Yeah, he was wearing the coat, and that particular coat is exactly the same one that he wears in the comics. And I just thought that is a real cool bit. They are focusing very much on keeping this in line with it at the moment. And the whole thing with the whole stabbing and all that, and it all kicking off. And
yeah, he was pretty badass.
Yeah, and I just
He just stood up and literally went, "What bitch? Come
what
on."
are you looking at? It's like,
what? I love that. And he goes, "What?"
I do think he is fantastic, and I just love how it shows how pathetic they are compared to these. And we've already partially seen Negan's group, so it was 9 people blown up by a bloody RPG, which I thought fantastic.
Yeah.
Still, I loved it, but you're really starting to see that Negan is a bastard. And I think next week is going to be pretty eventful as well, because I believe they go on the hunt for him straight off the bat, don't they? If I'm to believe the previews that I saw last night.
Yeah, I saw the previews. That seems to be the way forward.
Yeah. So I think it's going to become very intense, and there's going to be a big shock next week. I'm not quite sure what it will be, but I have an idea. But I won't go throwing that out just yet because of further knowledge as such, because obviously I've read the comics. Yeah, and actually, in light of that, I have recently heard that George R.R. Martin will be bringing back a book character, one of those that have died in the book, into the book. So the actual stories within the book are now taking a different change from the TV show, which I think is good for that. Obviously, I've never watched it, but I know that was a really big problem.
Anyway. Yeah, they kind of went astray from the books anyway. Like the first two were pretty faithful, and then after that, it kind of diverted. From what I've heard, I read the first 2 books, but I didn't read afterwards. But from people that have read them all, they said that the TV series has kind of gone astray from the book. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, people are reading the books rather than watching the TV shows.
I guess that's good, because the thing I always hear, because Game of Thrones is so massive, and a book is a lot more accepted than a sort of comic book when it comes down to movies, if you know what I mean. People are more likely to read a book. That there was a few elitist people that were like, oh, we know everything, what's going to happen, and they kind of ruined the story, and there was that big sort of outcry by people, and it was a big meme for quite a few seasons and all this sort of stuff. But obviously, as I've never really paid attention, I haven't even read the books. I've seen them and I thought, I'm not spending that time. I'm not reading the book that fat. It's like, that's not going to happen. I do not have the attention span for that. I got through The Godfather, and that's pretty much the biggest book I've read. But
Have you read it, have you?
The Godfather?
Oh, wow. What's the book like? Is it really good?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love Mario Puzo in general. He's done some fantastic books. He has. And like I say, I started reading, it wasn't that long ago, really. It was a few years back, so to even consider that I hadn't read them before, I was a bit ashamed. If I could, I would go back and read a lot more when I was younger, if you know what I mean. But I got a whole host of books. The Last Godfather or whatever is a new book which is supposed to sort of follow on from the original Godfather book, but it's written by another author. So I'll have to check that one out as well. But yeah, he's done some fantastic books, and I really, if you do want to read them, do. He's got some, it's fantastic. But also, a little fun fact, the whole production of that movie was done in line with the gangsters, because they owned the movie studio at that point pretty much. And because of where he grew up in Hell's Kitchen, gang culture back then was so huge, they pretty much had a matrix on the whole group, which was pretty amazing that they kind of shaped the movie and the book. But this is just completely diverting off anyway. But yeah, I loved it. But yeah, does anyone have any more notes on The Walking Dead, or?
Well, I was going to say, on the subject of books,
go ahead.
There's been a bit of news today in regards to film. I'm currently on the fifth Dark Tower book, which is the Stephen King it's kind of classed as his magnum opus kind of collection, based on Lord of the Rings. It's quite a sci-fi kind of Western thriller horror, and it's been confirmed today that they're making films of them with Idris Elba in the lead role, along with Matthew McConaughey.
Yes,
so it should be pretty damn cool.
That. Yeah, I heard something about it, but I didn't realise. Yeah, I didn't realise it was Stephen King or anything like that, or based on the book.
Yeah. There's seven books, and I'm on the fifth one at the moment. So hopefully, by the time the films come out, I should be through them all. So I'm really excited about that.
Bloody hell! Yeah, I heard a bit of news about it, because obviously you see a lot on the internet, and whenever Idris Elba comes up, it's always fairly popular. But yeah, that could be quite good. That could be quite good. Yeah. Okay then. Josh, you have anything to add on The Walking Dead before we go?
No, I think it was a really good episode, and I'm really looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did manage to spoil a bit of the future events of the comics for myself, so I'm not going to talk about that. But
you did.
I kind of.
How did you manage that?
I did. I don't remember how. I think I did some try to do some research on this on the last episode, and I came across something I shouldn't have. So I won't tell it.
Is it?
But
is it of a certain character?
I'll talk about it later. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'll.
I tell you what. You've got Facebook Messenger. Pop it over to me. I've got my phone next to me. If you pop me a message, I'll have a look. So I know.
Keep me away.
Oh, right,
Keep me away.
Yeah. So Dan, just send it to me directly.
I won't spoil it. Yeah.
Because obviously, I am the superior knowledge writer.
Group.
Where is it? Dan has left the chat. All right. Let's just open that one up.
I feel rather left out.
But
I'm sorry.
This
honestly,
happens,
I wish I didn't know.
While this happens, we'll move on. So this week, last week I didn't actually get to play. Yep, Josh, that is not very nice. It is door.
Yep.
It's scaring me.
Boo! Don't tell me.
I saw a picture.
I'm not telling you, but it scares the shit out of me. It really does. It really does.
Okay.
I am literally crapping my
Right.
pants,
Fair enough.
and
We won't talk about it
yeah,
anyway.
we won't talk about it. I've told Kay because she won't read the comics, but that's a completely different story. But yeah, last week I couldn't really talk about Far Cry Primal or Garden Warfare 2 because they never arrived. So have you guys played any of them or touched them at all?
No.
No, I don't. Not interested in Garden Warfare and Far Cry Primal. I would like to get around to, but
I wouldn't recommend it. If
Really?
I'm honest.
really, why is that?
It's poor. It really is. Now, Josh and I were talking before
In what
you
sense?
appeared, Dan, that there's a load of problems with the port as well. So, PC-wise,
Okay.
it's a knockout. You're not going to want to touch it. But the problem I was having was that you'd go into the game and you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go around killing everything and all this sort of stuff, and I'm going to adventure and I'm going to tame things, and I'm going to somehow progress the story in a nice sort of manner, and there's going to be a really evil person at the end of it. So like Vaz and Troy Baker's character in the previous one. Oh, bloody hell, what's his name? I can't remember his name in the last one, but those were fantastic because they had the guns, they had the cars, and they had all these forms of transport to go around the map and do all these fun, stupid stuff with. But you also had a psychotic villain at the end with a really bloody good story. And in 4, you had that sort of sub thing where you could choose how you react
It was
at the
Pagan
end.
Min, wasn't it?
Pagan Min, that's the one. And in this one, you didn't have that. The villain was actually 2 people. They were 2 different tribes, and they weren't really much of a threat, if you know what I mean. It was just killing for killing's sake, and the story was really disengaging. It's also has to kind of do with the language of it, because it's not in English. I think I had trouble connecting to it. Not that I haven't watched
right.
anything with a subtitle. I've watched movies with subtitles and stuff like that, but it takes more than just English to sort of captivate you, if you know what I mean. But every time they started talking, it was a bit like, just not understanding any of this. This is just really not interesting. It's really dull and really lackluster. It's, oh, these people are killing our
that's a
people,
shame.
so we need to kill those people. And then because all you're armed with is some bows and some spears and some clubs, it's really obviously it's primitive, but their whole idea of leveling up weapons, so you change the weapons. You've gone from a short bow, which has no difference to the long bow, except from the fact that the long bow has slightly better accuracy and zooms in further for some reason. And the final evolution, get this, is you can shoot 2 arrows in one bow, and you need a completely different bow for it. And it's just like, why? Why could you not do that with just a regular bow? It's like, what stops that? And the AI is absolutely cocked. Absolutely cocked. You can go around in... So you've got this whole thing where you can fly an owl. He is sort of your scout. And you can go through caverns. You can go above these bases and the camps and all this sort of stuff. Scout out what's there and occasionally kill people and drop traps and blah blah blah. And you can drop, say, like a wasp nest or something like that. You can drop a hornet's nest on them, and if you miss, the bird's flying around fine, but what happens is the AI automatically knows where you are, and they just run at you. Not the bird, they run at you, hidden in the bush somewhere, controlling the bird. It's like, how the fuck do they know you're there? It's like, where is that logic coming from, that they're coming from the other side of the camp? They can't see me visually, but they know that my bloody bird has dropped something on them, and they know exactly where that's originating from. I just don't...
Wow.
I can't fathom it. It's just so stupid. It should be that they're shooting down the owl, not chasing the person who's controlling it, because why would they know someone's controlling it? And do you remember a certain scene in Call of Duty that got quite a lot of attention because it was absolutely pathetic? Press X to pay respect.
Yeah.
Anyone remember that?
I do remember
yeah?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Do you want
No,
to know
doesn't
how
ring a
you
bell to me.
tame? Well, you've never played. You don't play Call of Duty though, do you, Josh?
Very
Call of
rarely,
Duty.
yeah. Last time I
Call
played
of
was Modern
Duty.
Warfare 2. Call of
Um,
Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah. How you tame is, so you'll remember in, say, Blood Dragon, which was really fun, which is probably my favourite of the series. Sorry, what's that, Josh? You sent me
Found it.
something. What have you just sent me? Oh, that.
Remember that video I was talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. Okay, we're not going to play that.
Yeah,
But
don't
to
do that.
tame, you know, in the previous ones where you threw bait and you drew a creature towards you to attack or something like that, and in
Yeah.
Blood Dragon it baited the big bloody dragons. That's how you tame. You throw a piece of meat on the floor, you walk up to them, and you hold X, and it's tamed.
Groundbreaking.
I know, right? And they are so crap. They really are. Now, you can progress the levels and you can get bigger and bigger things. Like a Sabertooth, which is supposed to be the fastest and strongest predator there. But he has a huge problem. He dies a lot. And
Oh,
the
right.
fact that, yeah, he just sponges up damage whenever you're trying to kill them, but if he's yours, he dies like every 5 minutes. It's stupid. It really is. And then you've got the bears. This is where it really pisses me off. You have a normal brown bear, which is a big fat bastard. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a big hard man. You can ride him. A bit like the Sabertooth, but obviously he's slower. But there's a bigger bear. There's the cave bear. So it's a big sort of grey bear, big fat ugly bastard. You can't ride him. You would think that the bigger the creature is, the more likely you can ride it. You can ride a fucking mammoth. Why can't you ride a cave bear?
Well, common sense doesn't seem to be the main
just-
thing with this game.
It makes me so angry. Just something so simple like that. The story is just not there. It just, I can't fathom it.
It's okay.
I would say
Pete-
that
Pete,
kind of the original concept of the game is it's very hard to kind of make a story from something that basic. If that kind of
Exactly.
makes sense. It just
Yeah.
seems like you know, technology. Okay, you can't really advance technology because there's nothing to advance.
Yeah, and the problem
And,
is,
you know,
you've also got this whole thing of it being a next generation console, so it's got to look good, it's got to sound good, and it's really got to push the boat out. And they've done none of that. It looks okay at best. It's not the best I've seen, and it's not the worst I've seen, it's just okay. And that really is quite sad. And it's certainly not worth 40
out of 10
quid.
then?
I'll get round to that when it comes down, because I'm going to do a review of it. So if you want to read the full review, head on over to the website for that. I shall do that in the next few days, hopefully.
Fabulous.
But it's just so bad. It really isn't worth £40. If it was like, say, Blood Dragon,
£40. Bloody
yeah,
hell.
yeah, it's a brand new pre-order release. With Blood Dragon,
Okay.
it was, I think it was 15 quid when it came out. And that, I don't suppose you ever played Blood Dragon, did you?
New.
Oh,
Nope.
it is probably one of the best Far Cry games. Honestly, it was so much fun. It's sort of an 8-bit, I say 8-bit, sort of retro arcade version. And it is just so good. It's so worth it. And you'll probably be able to play it on your PC, Josh. So I recommend you pick it up if you can. It's just all
Alright.
neon and just retro 80s. It's so good. It really is. It's so worth that money. But say if it was worth, if they released it for say 15 quid, maybe I wouldn't be so angry at it. But I don't know. I really don't know. I might return it. I might not. I probably think I sunk 20 hours into it because I bum rushed all of the animals. I just did that. And that literally, if you're doing that, you can complete the game easy. It's like playing on easy mode from that point on. So there's very little difficulty added to that. And I'll move on to Garden Warfare quickly. That's fun. Garden Warfare 2 is fun. It's got a campaign. It has a sort of campaign to it as well. The multiplayer function is quite good. It's not changed from the previous one, but now you have 2 bases on one side, so your entrance lobby where you can choose to do garden ops, graveyard ops, or your single player or the multiplayer. You've just got this basic base. So say if you and I wanted to play a game, and you wanted to be a zombie, you could drop in, and it's essentially me hosting a party lobby, and you can have a battleground with random AI spawning on the map, and you can just fight around on the map just having a laugh, which I thought was quite a nice little idea. But yeah, not much has changed. It's still the same fun-loving game, and there's some new characters. I got a Mass Effect imp, so I'm happy. I'm quite enjoying it. I'm just
Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you can just pick up, you can have a laugh with, and it's just very simple. It's not over the top, but it's got a certain amount of skill. I seem to be getting my ass kicked quite a lot, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, it's good. It's good.
You just suck.
Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Okay,
Had
then.
to be said.
I've waffled on for a real long time. I'm sorry about that.
So you
right.
should be.
Fuck you. What's got into you?
Just usual
devil's tongue.
Tuesday afternoon.
Oh god.
The devil's tongue, exactly.
Devil's tongue.
I've already bought it, inserted it.
Oh, you sick bastard.
Alright, I'll carry on for a bit, shall I? I've only got one bit of
Yes.
news.
Yeah, go on then, Josh.
Go
Throw
on.
your news in.
Yeah. Yep. So as I mentioned last week, it was Pokemon's 20th anniversary, and I did mention before that they released the blue, red, and yellow for the 3DS on part of the what was it now? Is it like a virtual their virtual machine one? So like their old games, but now they've recently announced that they're going to be releasing the new generation of Pokemon games, which is called
Sun and Moon.
Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yep.
Yeah.
So I believe this is their 7th generation. As amazing as this sounds,
7.
it's so old now. I think it's the 7th
Shit.
one. Yeah. So it's the 7th.
How many Pokemon
Release
are
of
there
new
now?
Pokemon. I don't even know.
How
you
did
know.
these
I lost
people-
track around.
I
about
don't get
300.
this. How did these people, so 20 years ago we had 150, how are these people lived around these creatures and not known they're there? We've just discovered a Togepi.
Oh,
We've
I
just
see.
discovered
I
a
think,
Cyndaquil.
in game.
It's like,
I thought you
how
meant
do
in
you
real
not
life.
know
I
that?
thought, what the fuck?
It's like, how do you not know that's there? It's like
They
a
explain
rat.
it as if like
It's like a rat with fire on its back. How can you not know that's there?
Yeah.
Why does everyone go, oh, that's just a Rattata?
Yeah.
No, it's fine, it's just a Rattata. It's been burnt by a Charmander. It's fine. It's just crispy.
Yeah, but bear in mind, this is a world where they send 10-year-olds into the wild and going to capture fire-breathing dragons.
Off you go, child. Fight
and
for
fight
me.
each other. Off you go, free into the world. I don't want to. You will go out into that long grass and you will be raped by a Rattata.
Fuck off, Billy. We're not doing this.
You've reached 10 now. We are officially kicking you out of the house. You have to survive yourself and bully other kids into giving you their money.
Fucking
But yep, so that's coming out. It'll come out late 2016, so there's no exact date. But yeah, I can't wait. I'll probably
Fair
buy
play.
it and throw my money at it,
Fair
as
play.
per usual, as I do with every Pokemon game.
There was one other thing. I sent you guys a trailer. It would have been the day before yesterday, I think it was, for Taboo, the new BBC One
Yes.
show.
Oh yes.
Did you get round to
I've seen
watching
it,
that
yeah.
trailer?
Yeah, I watched
No.
it a few days before you sent it to me, so
Oh my god, that looks amazing, doesn't it?
it does look good. Yeah.
It's not
I've
slated.
seen-
It's
I've seen-
slated
I've
for a
seen a bit of it.
2017 release because they're currently filming at the moment.
It's out in America first, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was a BBC One show.
No, it's being shown. I saw it because people were complaining. Even
is
though
it
it's
an
British
Amazon
made,
one?
it's being released in American. For yeah, I think it's one of these companies. So if you
Ah.
can get a hold of a copy, I'm sure you can watch it. But yeah, BBC get it a year after. So hey
Oh,
ho.
I just find it odd that the BBC are advertising it as heavily as they are so early on. If that's the case, But the BBC have really
Backing
dropped
up
the
the
ball
hype.
recently. They have dropped the
Yeah.
ball. They've been losing so much ground with so much stuff. Especially with the F1, they've just completely lost that. They've given it away. They went, no, we can't be bothered with that anymore. It's just like, but I watched it on there. I don't want to watch Channel 4. But have you been watching The Night Manager?
Yes.
Yes. That's where the BBC have been doing good. Like, real good.
Yes, it's very, very
Oh, I love it. I think that's wicked, and I love Hugh Laurie in it. It's nice to see him because he hasn't done much, has he, since well, I know he was in that Tomorrowland or whatever it is, but yeah, House. I loved House, and you haven't seen him in so long. It's quite nice to see him because he looks so different as well. I just don't get it. He looks so different in House than he does here. It's just like, whoa. But I love it. I think it's wicked. I'm really enjoying it. And
No, it's good.
Tom Hiddleston is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably the first sort of serious role I've seen him in. Which is, yeah. Yeah, I think it would be the first serious role I've actually seen him in. But
He's done a few serious things.
yeah, but I haven't really watched them.
He was in Only Lovers Left Alive, which was like a romantic vampire thing, not Twilight. It was actually quite dark and gritty, and that was good. So, but yeah,
Never seen it. Never seen it.
he is Loki. He is Loki, so
Yeah, but he's not really that serious as Loki, is it? It's not really a
no,
series drama or anything. But
no, exactly.
I think to wrap it up, because we've only got a few minutes before we hit that 30-minute mark, because I've waffled on for too long. The Oscars.
Yes,
The Oscars.
the Oscars. Yeah, I can ramble on that for a bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Did you watch it? Anyone watch it, or was it just me?
I saw
I
the
didn't watch
opening
it. I saw
remarks
highlights.
by Chris Rock,
Yeah,
which I thought was fantastic. Just to add,
yeah. Chris Rock was very good. He was
Yeah.
much better than Neil Patrick Harris. He was much more comfortable, and I think the jokes were very good this year. They were a bit awkward last year. The funniest bit, the bit that had me in tears, was when they did like a compilation of the movies this year, and they put like black people in the places. So they have this like really I couldn't figure out who it was. It was like a really street woman like in The Revenant, and she was the bear, and she was like attacking Leonardo DiCaprio, and she was saying, "Why didn't you reply to my calls, bitch?" And it was hilarious. It was very good. I thought that was the best bit.
I saw there was a
but
bit
yeah,
of a
Chris Rock was
stab
very
at
good.
Will Smith in the way as well at one of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, a very big stab.
Yeah.
He was proper slating into him, but
And I like how
yeah,
Jada.
yeah,
It's like
yeah, her as well. He was a big fan.
that's what I found funny in the opening speech. I thought that was fantastic. It's like him boycotting Rihanna's pants. He's not invited.
Yeah. Oh,
I just
yeah.
thought that's fantastic. That was gold, absolute gold.
Mm.
But obviously, did we know Leo was going to win?
Obviously, yeah, that was the most
Yeah.
the certain one of the night. I'm very glad he won. He thoroughly deserved it. I'm really happy Spotlight won Best Picture. I didn't think it was going to. I thought The Revenant was odds on to win, but it won. So the Oscars got it right for once. Twice
Yeah.
this year they got it right. So I'm really happy. And a lot of people have overlooked Ennio Morricone, the guy who did the music for Hateful Eight. He'd never won like an Oscar for a film. He won like an honorary Oscar. But this was the guy that done music like all through the century. He did Good, the Bad, the Ugly. He's worked with Tarantino before, and I didn't realize he'd never won an Oscar. And this year he won it for Hateful Eight. So that's good. I'm glad he
For
won
the
it because he's
music.
brilliant. And he did the famous Good, the Bad, and the Ugly soundtrack. I think he's worked with Quentin from Kill Bill onwards.
Honestly, I didn't really
I don't
like the
think he-
music in the Hateful Eight.
Oh really? I thought it was good. I think it was
No.
probably the best score for Tarantino in a while.
No,
I know you like the Django
the
soundtrack.
Django
you love
one
that.
was amazing.
Mm.
The Django one was fantastic. I still listen to that to this very day. Sorry, I just had to let the dog in. Yes.
But no, I thought the ceremony was pretty successful. I'm glad Brie Larson won The Room. I thought she was brilliant. I'm trying to think of any. I couldn't stand Lady Gaga. I thought her performance was pretty dire. I know it was quite a sad one because it was to do with the victims of, was it sex abuse or something? I wasn't really paying attention, but I couldn't listen. I'm not a huge fan of Lady Gaga, so I kind of switched off.
I knew she was
I'm
taking to
surprised
social media
Sam
after.
Smith one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and his whole debacle with him saying he might have been the first gay man to win an Oscar, which apparently didn't go too well, with Tom Daly's fiance.
Oh, who cares about bloody Tom Daly?
Yeah, I can't stand Tom Daly. That's another one from our town, from our university
It is.
town. God, and I hate him. Can't stand him.
Right. How long have we got left?
We've already passed the time. It's fine. Keep going.
Oh. Well, I know,
Just keep going. Fuck the 30 minutes.
It's just a 2-minute thingy. I just want to say that we've got a contender for possibly worst film of the year, Evs, which is The Forest.
Oh, the Natalie Dormer one, is that?
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so bad. I haven't done a
That's
review on the
filmed.
site yet because I'm still.
Did we talk about that? Because isn't that the one that's filmed? Because I swear I watched a Vice documentary about this place in Japan where the woods were so dense that people would go there and get lost, and then others went there to get lost. They actually went in there and committed suicide. They had people going through there. They actually had a team go through there and sort of scour it out on a sort of semi-regular basis to find new bodies and new items.
Yeah. Well, the film wasn't filmed there because they weren't allowed to film it in the actual forest.
No?
The one that it's based on, this forest in Japan where it's famous for suicides, but it was based on it. But the film itself was terrible. It wasn't scary. It was, I don't know, shocking. Worst film of the year so far. Even worse than Zoolander 2, which was pretty shocking, and Point Break, which is pretty damn something. So yeah, I completely miss it.
Well, have you seen
I'll
The
do a
Boy?
review later on the
Have
site.
you seen The Boy yet? Because that looks bad. That's got Maggie.
Yeah,
from
I've seen the
Walking
trailer.
Dead, and that looks
Yeah,
awful.
it's out in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
There's
okay.
quite a few Walking Dead people in horror films because there's a one called The Other Side of the Door, and it's got what's Rick's wife from the first 2 seasons called?
Oh, Julia, Judith.
Think-
I've seen her in some other stuff as well. She was in that disaster movie with The Rock a few months back, wasn't she? San Diego or San Francisco, San Diego.
Yeah,
Something like that.
the one with the earthquake or something.
Yeah,
San
I think she
Andreas.
was. Yeah.
San Andreas.
That was the one. Yeah, but yeah, not really fussed. I don't watch horror movies anyway, so they're not really my thing.
No, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a load of rubbish, load of poo, and didn't make me jump. Ripped off all the Japanese horror films, and yeah, load of rubbish. So don't go and watch it. Go and watch Bone Tomahawk instead, which is still cracking.
Okay, well, have you seen anything else this week, or is there anything else coming out this week that you'd recommend people go see?
Yeah, I am watching London Has Fallen on Thursday. The sequel
my
to
God.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, it's going to be terrible.
Yes,
and then
we
this
have
week
another
we've got-
contender for worst movie of the year.
We do. And then, yeah, last week was terrible. This week's a bit better. We've got Hail Caesar, a new film by the Coen brothers.
Oh, that's flop.
We've got Oh, is it? I haven't
Yeah.
seen the figures.
I was hearing over in America that it was the worst opening for a big sort of like blockbuster movie, with a blockbuster star-studded cast. It's the biggest flop in movie history.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh no!
people just didn't want to see it. I think
That's not good.
if I'm correct in saying, it might have been like something stupid, maybe even something like 40 million or something stupid. Something
right.
really, yeah. You can't quote me on that, but I seem to remember it being said that it was a big flop and it didn't go down too well.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I'll keep an eye on it.
it
But,
does. Honestly,
I really want to.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like the whole sort of setup for it and sort of era it's in. It did look quite fun.
Yeah, it's got a great cast as well. It's got a really good cast.
Yeah, but with a great cast comes a big budget and, well, big expenses at least. So yeah, they're probably not going to make any money on that if that's the case.
And the last one that I really want to see this week is Goodnight Mummy. It's another horror film. I can't remember. It's a foreign one, and it looks really creepy. If you want to see the trailer, go on YouTube. It looks pretty terrifying. It's to do with I think there's two kids and their mother goes into hospital, and she comes back with like bandages on her face, and they're not too sure if it's actually their mum or not, and they're trying to figure out if it's actually their mum, and it looks pretty creepy. So we shall
Oh,
see.
that sounds horrible. Nope, not gonna watch that. That sounds too scary.
What?
Too scary.
I
That's
know.
it. I'm out. Peace out.
You're scared. I'm just like, what? Like, what?
I know. I haven't heard much of the plot. That's about it. That's all I've heard, but it does look pretty terrifying.
That's enough.
Just from
I'm
the
out.
plot, it doesn't
That's
sound.
enough to scare
It
the
doesn't
shit
sound
out
that
of me.
scary. It just sounds like, well, why didn't they just take the bandage off?
Because she's a
Then what's underneath the
Watch
bandage?
the trailer.
Yeah,
All right. Well, the trailer will get overload anyway at the end when I'm doing the editing.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's me done.
yep. Okay, Josh, you got any other news?
Nope, that's all I had, I'm afraid, for this
No.
week.
Okie doke one. Okie dokie then. So we run over a little bit, but I'd say that's a fairly nice time for it to end. So if you enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Tune in next week around about the same time and see us blab on about next week. So you've got all of those movies Dan mentioned. There's no games out this week. There is next week. We'll have The Division out next week on the 8th. I believe it's the 8th anyway. So that should be interesting. So hopefully, yeah. But tune in next time. Thank you very much for watching. Doodles.
Fabulous.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.